Hello and welcome back to the Healthy Soul podcast. I am so happy that you're here, that you're listening or watching on YouTube, on Spotify or Apple, whichever. I'm just so happy that you're here joining me today, and I'm excited for this little episode that I'm going to bring to you guys. I actually just spoke about it in our community here at Healthy Soul Coaching Group. I had a little empowerment hour session on it, and I think it's really important to talk about. And it's often not talked about or not even realized. And if you are unfamiliar with, the who we work with, really who we specialize in when it comes to just the coaching and the health and fitness mentorship, we work with a lot of high achieving ladies who are very go, very career driven, very stressed and overwhelmed. But again, they often have that high achiever mentality, the success driven mindset, the wanting to accomplish, the wanting to be perfect at everything, do everything all at once. And so with this kind of identity comes a lot of relying on structure, relying on routines. It's just kind of what we need to do so that we don't fall into chaos. We like to have, routines and plans in place. So we have that structure. We can just follow it, not worry about it. This is all good and great. Routines are not inherently bad in and of themselves. The issue, though, that I run into just after years of working with women like this is that you can get so reliant on this structure and this routine and having to be perfect and doing it all that it becomes who you think you are. This routine becomes your identity and your confidence relies on this. So what I mean by this is that instead of you feeling so confident and assured in who you are and what you want, that you can make your goals happen no matter what's going on around you, you don't necessarily have that idea of yourself, of what you want. You aren't truly fully aligned and in tune with just what these things look like, and I'll explain that here in a second, that you have this structure and routine, that if that falls apart, if that breaks, you break with it. And all of the feelings of shame, of guilt, of unhappiness, just doubt, self-doubt, fear, anxiety, it all comes flooding in, and you start to lose that momentum and lose that consistency when life does get super, super busy if you're relying on structure alone and that being tied to your confidence and to your identity. The morning walks, the morning routines, the tracking your food, getting your workouts in, those are all tools to help you express and become the woman that you are, that you want to become. They are not your identity. The morning walk itself is not who you are. The workouts are not who you are. Again, it's just how you express who you are. And so what we typically see happen, especially around this time of the year, which is why I'm bringing it up, is, summer's right around the corner. There are vacations happening all the time, weekend trips, social events, work trips, birthday parties, things are going on. So there's a lot more flexibility. There's not as much structure. It's a lot looser. And because it's so loose and because it's not as structured and because it's not as routine oriented, what we see happen a lot is you either, fall off tracking, fall off checking in because you lost your routine, because you didn't do this in the morning, because you skipped your workout yesterday. You're going to say, well, I'm going to wait until after this vacation is over and then I'll start again. And then you kind of get into this on and off cycle. That's so common this time of the year because you have never really been taught how to adapt and evolve as the seasons change, as life gets busy. You've only ever really been taught how to be, quote, perfect or in routine and how to really do it when things are simple. But honestly, things are never simple. Sure, you might have 2 months out of the year where it feels a lot simpler. You can dedicate a lot more, but what are you going to do the other 10 months out of the year? Are you just going to continue to live in this constant, inconsistent cycle where you feel bad about yourself and where you're beating yourself up because you can't stick to this perfect routine? Or are you going to evolve? Are you going to tune into your identity and learn how to continue to make progress not by relying on these routines and this structure, but by relying on what you truly want, your goals, and what it's going to take to express that and to get there. So ditch the idea of having this perfect routine and structure. I don't remember the last time I had the most perfect week, a week that looked the same as last week, that looked the same as the week before. Things look different, but I still get things done. I'm still able to hit my goals. And that's because instead of relying on routines, I'm just rooted in my identity phrase. So I recommend thinking about this, writing it down, having some type of identity phrase that you could pull to that reminds you who you want to become, how you want to show up, especially when things do feel a little chaotic. So my identity phrase is I want to show up with energy and clarity because I want to be the best version of myself so that I can give back, serve, and love others more effectively. So when I stay true to my identity phase, what comes with that? What do I have to do to hold true to my identity and the woman that I want to become? Well, that does mean I have to move my body, because moving my body is going to give me energy. That does mean that in order to be the healthiest version of myself, I have to resistance train. I have to be strong, feel empowered. I have to fuel my body with healthy, nutritious foods and choices. These are things that just make up who I am. It's not, I'm going to do this when I'm in routine. It's just who I am. I do it regardless. That routine and what that looks like looks different day to day. I'm not always getting a walk-in early in the morning. I'm not always getting a strength training session at 5 p.m. after work. Like, it looks different day to day. I don't have just specific routines that I hold on to build confidence. I just have things that I do because it's just who I am. And I think that that's so critical to really understand, that you must first know your identity, know who it is you are, who it is you want to be, you want to become, that you're growing towards, and what does that version of you look like? What is she doing? What are the minimum things that you can do when life does get crazy, that regardless, you can still show up and become that woman, even if it's not perfect, even if you're not knocking off so many different habits every single day? Something is always better than nothing. Let's say your ideal step goal is 10K steps, but your minimum when life gets crazy is 7K steps. That's something that no matter what, that's who I am. It's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it happen. It's the little shifts like this and the minimums, having minimums that you can do, that's going to help you stay rooted in your identity. So I hope that this episode was helpful. It was a little bit of a different perspective for you. And if anything, I just hope it encouraged you to not rely so much on having a perfect routine. You know, we get bombarded, especially on social media nowadays, with night routines, morning routines, getting the kids ready for school routines. Like, just there's so many different routines that it can make you compare your routine and what you do in the mornings. And I don't want that for you. I want you to become the best version of yourself. That's going to look vastly different than what I'm doing, that what Susie's doing, that what Morgan's doing. Like, I don't know, I'm just throwing out names. It's going to look so different than what so many other people are doing. So we can't look at those routines, compare those routines, and try and do those routines if we don't know who we are, if we don't have a strong identity that we can really anchor to, that's going to help us understand what it is we should be doing day in, day out. What are our minimums to become that person and to hit our goals and to become the happiest, healthiest versions of ourselves. So if you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, follow, send it to someone that you think would also benefit from this. If you want to hear a little bit more from me on the daily, go follow me on Instagram at Trainer Peyton. Pretty much post on there every single day. And if you're interested in joining our community and joining our high touch one-on-one mentorship here at Healthy Soul Coaching Group, check the link in my bio to just learn a little bit more about us, to see if it's the right fit, and I'll be happy to chat with you. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye.